Hi everyone, I'm Quinn and welcome to Away in Rome. I talk a lot about study abroad on this channel and this is going to be another one of those videos. When I was first thinking about this list of essentials that you must take with you for study abroad, I thought I had 7, but I kept adding and now I'm at about 10 and I still feel like I could add more, but I'm going to stick with 10 and I think it'll give you a lot of insight about what you need to make sure that you have in your bag before you go for your month, semester, year abroad. They're just those little things that could easily slip your mind and all of the madness of preparing for a completely new life when you're in a new country. The first thing on this list is a weekend travel bag. It doesn't have to be too big or fancy. It actually really shouldn't be too big because if you're going somewhere like Europe, you'll be taking a lot of weekend trips, probably on budget airlines. They'll have very strict guidelines on what size the bag can be if you're allowed to take it on for free. Or if you're going on a little bit longer trip, like say for spring break, you can pair the bag with maybe your school backpack and it'll be able to fit everything you need. For my 2 semesters abroad, I took this bag with me and I absolutely love it. I got it for mochi things. I just thought it would be a good thing to have with me and it ended up being an absolute lifesaver. It has a bunch of different compartments. It can be held like a regular bag and there's also a way to adjust the strap so you can wear it as a backpack. So just make sure you have something simple but that's also versatile and comfortable. You can really go with any bag. Check your closet first before you go out and buy something, but I'll link this one or something close down below in case it's not available anymore. It's been a lifesaver for me and I absolutely love this thing. I think this is a much better option than a small suitcase because a lot of these countries have uneven pavements or cobblestone streets and you just want to be able to put something on your shoulder and go. You don't want to be dragging it behind you, making a whole lot of noise when you're just trying to get to your location without being annoying to every person that you pass on the street. Another good thing about a bag like that is if you go to the country with it empty, you can have extra space to pack things when you're coming back home. You can either take it as a carry-on on the plane or check it as a second bag. Next, I feel like this comes up on a lot of lists that I make on this channel, but you need a sturdy, reusable water bottle. These are surprisingly hard to find abroad, and when you're in the States, they're just readily available. A lot of my European friends have said that they can always tell an American by their reusable water bottle. It's just not the norm in other countries, and if you're like me and water is really important to you, you want to stay hydrated, just make sure you take a water bottle with you so you know that you have something to fill up while you're there. You don't want to be stuck constantly buying water bottles, having to fill them up, throw them away. It's annoying, bad for the environment, and just a huge money suck. So get a good reusable water bottle before you go to your host country. Next, you want to make sure that you pack not only a converter, but an adapter. Not all countries use the same electricity voltage, so it's not enough to just change the shape of the plug that you're using. This might not work and could even end up blowing a fuse. You have an adapter, that's an easy way to ensure that this does not happen. I bought a random converter off of Amazon and it has been one of the best purchases that I ever made. Super durable, super reliable, and I take it on every trip overseas that I go on. It comes with these different converters and you can attach them onto the main adapter and just change them out depending on what country you're going to. You see that each of them have this little attachment in the back. You just attach it onto the other part that I can't find right now and it'll make sure that you're able to charge all your electronic devices when you're in any given country. I've been able to use this guy on tons of different trips, multiple continents, and it was such a good buy. I'd highly recommend. I'll link it down below for you. The next essentials on this list that you absolutely must pack are comfortable clothes that can easily be layered that you can sleep in. This definitely depends on which country you're going to, what the weather's like, but I was going to the south of Spain for my first semester. I thought it was gonna be super warm, I'd probably be hot most of the time, but it actually has a pretty high elevation and it got so cold at night and Spaniards just don't really believe in turning the heater on. So I was constantly freezing in my host mom's house every night for 2 months while I was in Granada, Spain. I was so glad that I had a warm pair of leggings, thick pajama pants, a sweater, and a scarf to wear when I was walking around the house and even when I was going to sleep. Again, this is depending on the country. If you're going to a place that you know it'll be super hot all the time, day and night, don't worry about it. But if you're going to the place where the temperature can get a little iffy, make sure that you have those warm, comfortable clothes that you can wear outside or inside if necessary. Also, make sure that you have a portable charger on you. This is something that can be so easy to forget. They're super small and sometimes you just take them for granted. Your phone is everything. It's your camera, your translator, your GPS. It has so much information and you'll be doing a lot while you're abroad. You'll have late nights out, all day bus trips, maybe some unexpected long walks. That you want to make sure that you have a portable charger so that your phone doesn't die on you when you need it most. This is a definite must and I know you're probably thinking it, but I just want to make sure that you do not forget when you're packing for your trip. maybe even pack 2 just to be safe. And this next one doesn't apply to everyone, but I'm so glad I bought it, and that is a gift for my host family. First impressions really count, so take something small but meaningful from your country to share with your family as a token of appreciation and thanks for opening up their home to you. You really don't have to overthink this one. I was staying with a woman in her 40s and her 3-year-old son. I took her a coffee table book of some beautiful shots of New York City, some locally made jam from Brooklyn. I got her son, my little host brother, a small NYPD toy car and a picture book about New York. These gifts were all hits, and I really think it got me started off on the right foot with them. They had tangible evidence of my gratitude right from the beginning, and I think it was a great way to start off our relationship. My 7th item is definitely something you can customize, but you definitely have to take some version of it, and that is a durable shoe that's dressy but also casual. What you take is really up to you. I took Chelsea boots similar to these with me. They have good traction, they're waterproof, you can really wear them with anything. I had some friends that took combat boots, maybe some that took Blundstones. You want to be able to wear these without obviously getting any blisters or breaking your ankle or something, so take something that is reliable, that will last you a few months while you're abroad. I definitely think the winner in this category would be the Blundstone boots. These are definitely an investment, but they're shoes that will last you a lifetime from what I've heard, and I think I'm going to pick up a pair for myself. And a little tip here with bulky shoes, try not to pack them in your checked bag. It'll add a lot of weight and possibly take you over the limit that the airline has set. I like to wear them when I'm going on the plane because I'm not the one getting weighed, and I can just have those on me and it doesn't add an extra burden to my suitcase. My 8th suggestion is actually a really important one, and that is if you're taking any prescription medicine with you, make sure that you have enough, if possible, to last you the entire semester. Also, make sure that you have a copy of that prescription if you're ever in a bind and need to show a local pharmacist something for them to reference. I have a friend that ran out of some prescription medication that she needed, and she had to set up a whole delivery system with her family back home to get sent to Europe, and it was just a whole to-do that was very stressful. And also remember that mailing systems in between countries are not that efficient either, so there was a lot of time that lapsed as well. So to save you the headache, anything that you're taking on a regular basis, make sure that you take it in bulk if you can. And also, on the talk of medicine, take your favorite cold remedy with you. You're bound to get sick at least once, and when you're in some kind of study abroad program, when one person gets sick, everybody gets sick. You want to make sure when that happens, you have something that's reliable that you know works with your body. I didn't do this in my first semester abroad, and of course, in the first month, everyone had gotten sick. I was walking around town with a headache, trying to explain in very rusty Spanish what was wrong with me, trying to figure out if what they were giving me was even the right thing. And I was basically just taking what the pharmacist gave me and seeing if it worked by trial and error. It would have been a lot easier if I had just bought the usual medicine that I use when I'm at home. And next, just to be efficient with your space, packing cubes are an absolute lifesaver. The good thing about packing cubes is that they allow whatever you're packing to be a bit more compact, so you can be more efficient with your space. And I don't really have a lot to add on that one. It's just a nice thing to have to save room in your big luggage or in your smaller bag for weekend trips. You don't really need anything special, so I'll link one similar to the ones that I've used in the past below if you want to check them out. Lastly, for number 10, I have to get a little sentimental, but I would strongly recommend that you take a journal with you. I did take a journal with me when I went abroad, and I'm thankful for that, but one of my biggest regrets is that I wasn't consistent with that journal. There's so many little joys and observations that you have when you're abroad, and sometimes pictures just aren't enough to capture that. Your thoughts in that moment are so special, and everything's just so new, and you want to remember what you felt in that moment. So don't forget this one, even if it's just one sentence a day. Make sure that you're writing these out so you have some kind of record of what you're experiencing during your time studying abroad. And that's all for me today. 10 things that you definitely cannot forget to pack in your study abroad bag. Some of them might have been pretty obvious to you, some of them not so much, but definitely consider them as you're packing your bag to go abroad. If you have any other questions about study abroad or topics that you want me to cover, just let me know down below and I'll be sure to make a video about it. I really hope this list was helpful for you, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!